Hello, good evening Tribuners. Welcome back with me Kusnul Asyaifah in Indonesian News of Tribun Lampung. We will present you an up-to-date and interesting information from every place in Indonesia. And here the complete news. The first news is, police officer arrested for abusing neighbor child, mad to the look snake money. A police officer in Lubuklinggau, Sumatra is suspended in having sexually abused a minor. The victim is neighbor of the previous treasurer. To the bodies of the operation is the previous treasurer like Pokimani. As a result of the action, the police officer has been arrested. The head of the Lubuklinggau Police Adjutant to the Police Commissioner Harisandi complained by the Deputy Chief of the Police Commissioner of the Police MPA National compared to the chronology of the police officer being arrested for allegedly committing immoral act. The police officer concerned has the initial D, who has in his service at the North Musirawas Mutarata Police Station. The previous station is a member of the police concerned by the have arrest him now, said the chief of police when he made his office Tuesday, May 24, 2022 noon. Harisandi explained that he arrested after this police officer began on Friday, May 2022, after his party received by a report of sexual violence against minor by the victim family. This act carried out by the prepared station 2 weeks ago at his home in the Wat Perfect area, Lubuklinggau City, South Sumatra. The victim is also known to be a neighbor of the victim, he said. Because the way we're happy, the victim parents and their family report it to the Lubuklinggau police. Then the report was followed up after that. The victim will be checked and made post-mortem. The result is be the victim genitals. Where examined witness and the victim themselves in the clothing. The result of the post-mortem which have been issued by the hospital, he explained. Harisandi continued. The previous station modus of the operandi was to make victim by to the monster by the previous nation by the means of the previous nation luring the victim with the pocket money. As for the modus operandi of the preparation, according to the police chief, they were giving lure pocket money, he said. Previously, the head of the Morotai Police Adjutant to the Police Commissioner, Fairly Rosa Putra, when he confirmed that the member had been threatened the Lubuklinggau Police regards that the alleged immoral case. It is true. When according at the investigation, we confident that we will be professional. The law must be enforced, he fairly. Fairly said that the party hovered over the second Lubuklinggau police considering the location of the officer was in the jurisdiction of the Lubuklinggau police. Fairly emphasized that the Mutarata police will not interrupt and also impossible for him to protect him like a member, but all them must follow the legal process. The next news is, Rusli Sibua returns home welcome like a king. 1,000 of residents of Morotai Island, North Maluku, warmly welcomed the arrival of never former Morotai Regent Rusli Sibua. Rusli Sibua was welcomed by the people like a king after so many years in the prison. A part of visiting his parents' graves, Rusli Sibua also were to stay in touch with the relative and the community. According to information, the gathering was complained held halal be halal. Rusli himself left the Morotai Island in 2014 due to the deliberate case of the former Chief Justice of the Constitutional Court Akil Mokhtar, according to TRIBUN.com's monitoring. Tuesday, at around 6 weeks for the former regent of the Morotai arrived at the P2 airport by the boarding a winged airplane. There were hundreds of the residents on a standby at the P2 airport to welcome Rusli Sibua. From the P2 airport, 100 of residents used the wheellift for the wheellift victim there to do a Rusli's resident. Along the way, residents waved to the welcome to arrive of the former Morotai Regent. Before heading home, Rusli was paraded around Darabuga city as soon as he arrived at the Galamo village in highway. Rusli Sibua got out of the car and walked to the hymn house, which is about 200 meters away. 200 of the line of the welcome Rusli with the great emotional along that the Rusli greeted one by one. Rusli's residence is located at Muhajirin Village, PSTG complex. When arrived, Rusli Sibua was supported by the one of residents to enter his house while accompanied by the traditional Thai dance. Tribun.com tried to ask about arrival. He admitted to the return home because he really missed the Morotai resident. I come home because I love Morotai, nothing else, he said. Rusli arrived the Morotai also concurred by the end of the turn by the regent of the Morotai Beni, Laos and Deputy Aswarin Padama. The next news is smashed by the train crowd. The minibus for the passenger transformation was trained by the 200 meters. One unit of passenger minibus had an accident at the STREET KH Agus Anang right road cruising. Ketapang Telukbetung South, Bandar Lampung, Thursday, May 24, 2022 at around 7:30 in the morning. The minibus driven by the daddy, 34 years old, a resident of the veteran complex Tangerang, was hit by a train car and was passing a car in the area. As a result, the white minibus with the Vedic number plate V7202 was dragged up of the 200 meters. Luckily, there was no casualties in the incident. It is only causes damage to the car due to being hit the errant train crane. Head of traffic unit of the traffic unit of the Bandar Lampung police. Agus said that like that, currently by the minibus have been evacuated. Agus confirmed that there is no casualty in the incident. There was one passenger in the car who suffered bruises, said Agus. The next news is Riau Natural Research and Conservation Center transfers to Sumatra 11 from Riau to the outside the region. The Riau Natural Research and Conservation Center has the translate to Sumatran 11 from the Riau. 211 protect large animals were moved outside the Riau province. to no transgression in the term of the wildlife conservation in the process of the catching, moving, and the releasing or including species, habits, or the other ecological material from the place to the another. The translocal activity was carried out on the Monday, the 23rd of May 2022, yesterday. The last two dispersed 11 were in the Telukbetung village, Kuala Canaku district, in the Morotai Regency. They have been in this area since February 2022, head of the Riau National Research and Conservation Center, Vivin Arya Vanajoga Sara said. The Riau Natural Research and Conservation, together with the regional government, the Indonesia State Army, the National Police, the Inhu Regional Disaster Management Agency, that the community are actively carrying out investigation, monitoring, and security measures for the two suspicious 11 in the Indigiri Hulu Regency for the past 3 months. Today, we are also carrying out of the effort translocal to the two dispenser Bell 11, said Vivin. Prior to the translocal of the Riau, BBKSDA, under the direct of the Directional of the Species and General Beneficiaries Conservation of the Ministers of the Environment and the Forestry of the Republic of Indonesia. An example was made to last an extrabiblical acid test in the Sriwijaya University, with the result that the helopolitic and nectolodic diffusor was quite low. Thus, General Hapolis of Sumatra 11 were displayed of the Elephas Island, namely BS, BR, and BT. For the dominant health parades, BR and BT translocal can be carried out from individual with the different population of the Sumatra 11 and translocal can be evolved to the celebrated chain of law, reformment, health, mentally, general quality, and the informed motivation. So it is hoped that the removal of the Bell 11 from the Riau province can accrue the improvement of the genetic research in the now new location. Privately, this dispersal Sumatra 11 was translocal in 2022 by returning it to the group. It the Sutsnet test to Elephas in cloud, by the test 11 come to back of their package of Kuala Canaku district in Cakari Hulu Regency. In this translocal procession, the Riau KSDA agreed Holbok in the tram 11, namely Yopi, Indah, and Sarungan to assist translocal procession to the intended location. The next news is illegal cosmetic business in Samarinda via Batsos, a woman treated by 4 years in the prison. The time the Samarinda police relieved the illegal distribution of cosmetics at the Samarinda police headquarters is Kalimantan province Thursday, May 22, and the Samarinda police Chief the Congress for its area fatally accompanied by the head of the Samarinda Police Criminal Investigation Unit. Commissioner Andika Dharmasena told the Mass and media had explained that he suffered from the Criminal Investigation Unit of the Samarinda Police reflected that he was criminal to the previous count without a production permit, also accruing goods or the equipment that the dress not complete with the citizen profession. In the accident regulation, but the Job Creation Act of the Consumer Protection Act. The preferred station in the question mix of the beauty product and the 10 gift and the brand and the trended it. With this brand of a good, do not to have yet licensed recording in the according with the prerequisite of the Food and the Drug Examination Agency as well as related to the health. Based on this, there was investigation by the STREET scheme on social media will be and the filed suspend initial DN was found at the home at the Bangkaluring area in North Samarinda on Friday, May 13, 2022, said he had police. It was discovered that the DN prevention was the widow providing cosmetic in the equipment after the rescue team closed. The result from the production in their own resident with the economic motivation. The way they trade is took social media and the relevant reseller and network at several points starting off the Tanggarong, a number of the Samarinda area, Sangga, Saga, Balikpapan, and Sulawesi. The next news is evacuated by the uniform bodies of the Kuri Cards Beach by search and rescue team. Regained and united by the male body was found floating on the beach of Kuri Kardi, Barasu District, Maros Regency, Thursday afternoon, May 24, 2022. The Makassar Basarnas Fire Detective Team Arham said the discovery of the unified body was based on the report and information from the resident about the passage of the body in the waters of the Kuri Chardi. Based on the report, the joint search and rescue team moved to the beach of the evacuated. Based on the report, the joint search and rescue team moved to the beach of the evacuated by the body of the injured man. He had at the location of the recovery of body was about 2 miles from the shore of Kuri Kadi Beach. He said the process of the evacuation by the body using a rubber boat took about 1 hour. He explained that the joint and search and rescue team started evacuating by the 12 o'clock. The victim was successful, evacuated by around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We did about 1 hour and 1 hour to the evacuation by the victim for the evacuation was dispatched about a 10 joint search and rescue team, he explained. Arham added side the evacuated by the processing 1 hour and evacuation processing went smoothly. The team had absolutely no problem. After being evacuated, the victim body was taken to the hospital using ambulance that has been prepared since the first evacuation by the crying out. Regarding the eventually the victim Arhan admitted to the so far, and the team did know to the identity of the victim. Report of the loss of their he said was found floating and wearing gray clothes. Evacuating of the victim immediately has the over of the ambulance officer to detect to the hospital. For the information, before being evacuated by joint search and rescue team, the discovery of the man's body at the middle of the sea was regained by the residents who were in the using a boat. This short 16-second video then evacuated in the video. The last news is, the suspended terrorist arrest in the Malang is still a study. The National Police Headquarters confirmed the arrest of the suspended terrorist in Malang City. The arrest by the made by the special detachment team of the 88 Polri at the head of Police Information Bureau of the National Police Public Relations Division Brigadier General and Ahmad Dahlan said arrests were made on Monday at around 20 o'clock afternoon. One suspect who was arrested has the one initial EA, 20 years old, a student in university in Malang City. He said in a process release delivery virtual from the National Police, he headquarters on Tuesday. He explained that the suspect EA was arrested because he was suspected of being influenced in the various terrorism crimes. Indonesia then is the second managing social media in contact in distributing ISIS material related to the criminal acts of terrorism. The third of the person concerned, combination internally that the suspect from the chat group on the Bahir, Mr. who has been arrested the incident community, was crying out and the other to the Plain Amalia Agency Republic facility and the police station. Currently, suspect EA has been detained and still undergoing investigation by the investigation from Densus that the National Police Headquarters. Development and the suspect involvement, he said like that. As a freshly reported, a young man in the Malang City arrested that the Densus 88 at the National Police Headquarters on the Monday afternoon at around 12. The arrests were made at Trace Story, a boarding house location on the Jalan Dino Permai Dino Village Logowi District, Malang City. The man young was arrested because he was suspected and being ISIS dispenser. During a search in his room, several items and flooding were found. Among the things is a laptop, a flash drive, around the pole, and the latch, and the small commando and knife. Not only the first book, one of the which is a propaganda trace a black flag with the writing containing the mounting sentence, namely Ilahi, and the green passenger were also secured and taken away by the police. Well, I think that's all for news for today. Thank you for watching and have